Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the What Sold in October video that I promised you. October sales were really pretty good. It ended up being my second highest sales month this year, so that's fantastic. Sales still are not where they were a couple of years ago, but I'm glad that the work that I put in the last few weeks is paying off, so I'm really happy. So I have about 10 items that I want to share with you today. Most have sold for over $30 or $30 and above. There's two that didn't, but I want to talk about them a little bit anyway. So we're actually going to start with that. The first one is a fig shirt. These are a recent find. Paul picked them up from Talese. I think it was a 50% off sale. So they were only $3 and this one sold for $25. So I'm really happy. Quick flip. The other three that I've listed aren't getting a lot of attention. So I don't know what's going on with that, but that's okay. The next sale that I want to talk about are the eyeliners. There was two in the bundle. It sold for $21. Now you're asking, okay, that's okay, but why are you telling us about this? So I bought a bundle of Clinique and Estee Lauder stuff from Poshmark using Posh credit. So none of my own hard-earned money, just credit. So technically it's free if you do Posh math. I spent $20 plus all the shipping on this bundle of stuff. I've already sold I've already sold one thing from that. I've kept some for myself as well. So technically speaking, this is all profit because I didn't spend any of my money. And that's why I wanted to talk about it, because if you get credit, if you can spend it to source, you can make more money. So if I had $50 in credit, maybe I'm making $100 in cash. So that's a really good sort of thing to do. All right, now what sold for over 30? We are going to start with this Simply skirt. Simply is a brand that I love. I picked this up from an online auction, and I believe I paid about $4 or $5 per item, so not too bad. This one sold for $40. Simply is a Canadian brand, and lots of people love it. It's very, very like Chico's in the sense that traveling, because it doesn't wrinkle and stuff, so it's a good brand to pick up. Next are these Sam Edelman little booties. They sold for $45. This is a really old listing. I have no idea where I got them because I've had them for probably close to the end of their tenure here. So at least 2 falls or 2 winters. So I've had these for a while. So I was really happy that they sold. They've been relisted and stuff. So really happy about that. The next one I want to talk about is this. The brand is Maine and Local Canada mug. No, it's Maine and Local is the brand. And it was a Canadian mug, Canada mug, and with the glove, the hockey glove, super cool. I believe I paid about $4 for it, and it sold for $30. This got shipped to the Yukon, so that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring it up, because it was a breakable, and I shipped it to the Yukon, and it got there no problem. It took a long while to get there, but it got there and it was perfect, so I was really happy. Sometimes when I have to send something really far away, if it's breakable, I kind of wait anxiously to make sure that it got there okay. But I do pack well, so I'm happy with that. The next one are these Eileen Fisher linen. I almost kept these for myself, but they sold for $40. I picked them up from Value Village on 30% off Senior Day, and I paid $9.09 for them, and they sold for $40. And they're a fairly recent pickup, like maybe in the last couple of months, so yay. The next one, Dance Goes. These, again, really old listing. For some reason, my shoes are moving. They sold for $42. I have no idea where I got them. It could have been the bins. It could have been anywhere. I don't tend to spend a ton on Dansko, maybe $10 at the most, so I don't know. But they sold, and they're an older listing. Again, I'm so happy when that happens. The next one is this book. It was a huge book. It was heavy. I had to weigh it after I packaged it. Sold for $33. This I did pick up at an online auction and paid, I think it was $6.50 with all the stuff, the taxes and everything. And it finally sold for $33. I was a little concerned with the weight. It was, I think the package was 1.4 kilos, which I thought was much heavier. I was more worried that I'd have to upgrade the label, but it didn't. So I was happy about that. The next one is a Victoria's Secret sort of top bra. It was a really pretty top. This I got at Talese. I believe they charged me bra prices, so that was when I bought it. I think they were only $4 or $3, something like that. It sold for $42. So I'm really happy about that turnaround as well. And you know what? I love selling bras. Bras are one of those untapped markets that if you can get some really good brands, then yeah, it's a good little niche to sell in. And they're easy to photograph and stuff. The last one I want to talk about are these Good American. They had the grommets out down the side. They sold for $40. I picked these up at Goodwill about half an hour away from me. I remember specifically. I might have paid $8 for them. Because again, this is an older listing. Let's see, I have two that were fairly new in the last couple of months. And everything else, nope, maybe three from the last couple of months, and everything else was older, like 6, 7, 8-year old listings. So I'm really happy that they sold. So like I said, October ended up being a very good month for me in sales. I was really happy with that. I think for the last couple of weeks that I've been doing the accountability, and I've been listing and I've been very consistent with what I'm doing, that has helped a lot. And I'm really, really appreciative of that. You got to work it to get it, right? Anyway, that is it for today. I hope everybody has a fantastic week, and I'll be back on Saturday. Bye.